Hello all and welcome to another edition of the Boss Raid Mechanics Explained. So today we're going to talk about the Demon Thursday Provoke. The key feature about this boss is the core in the middle has extremely high defense and is also protected by a damage reduction shield. It also has an active SP that provokes all of your units and forces you to hit the core. So because of this, this boss tends to be the lowest scoring boss out of the whole week. The top and bottom parts of the boss both are worth 10 million points each. And once you break those parts, you won't be able to score any further from them. The defense is relatively low though, so if you have a well-transcended row attacker like Eladia, Claire, Leah, to name a few, you should be able to break both top and bottom no problems. So the key to doing over 20 million damage for this boss is to score well in the core, which needs two things. One, you need to delete the damage reduction shield, and two, you need someone who hits at 100% defense penetration. So in essence, this forces you to use Andreas, Lopez, and Eden. As far as I can tell, Andreas is the only unit in the game that can delete damage reduction shields. And Eden is clearly the only unit that can do 100% defense penetration on her basic. Your other three units will be generally 2 attack buffers and a AoE or row attacker. I prefer using Leia because she also gives you an attack buff lasting 5 turns. Monica does too, but her attack buff only lasts 3 turns. So in terms of strategy, the basic premise is that you need Eden to do her basic when the damage reduction shield is down. The damage reduction shield is linked to the core's basic, so each time it does the basic, the shield will recast itself. So in turn 1, you do have an opportunity to hit it before it casts the shield. If your mobility is over 600, you can put Eden second to go, but if your mobility is less than 600, Eden has to go first. You can put Eden lower down the turn order, and there are some advantages to doing that. And later in this video I will show you how to SP cancel the core's basic, so the damage reduction shield doesn't come up until turn 2. In terms of positioning the pallets, you want to put Eden in the column where she's hit less, whilst Andreas is in the column where she's hit more. This is because if Eden is hit too many times, then she will keep on doing her alternate attack instead of doing her basics. Whilst conversely, you need Andreas to be hit enough so that you generate enough SP for her to do the damage reduction shield deleting alternate attack. So with this form I'm showcasing here, my team has a mobility of over 600. So on odd numbered turns, you'll see Andreas acting first and deleting the damage reduction shield, followed by the top part of the boss firing, followed by Eden doing the basic, followed by the middle part of the boss firing and bringing the shield back up. So if you do run this form, don't do what I do here and delete the top, because if you delete the top, the boss turn order will change and will cast the damage reduction shield up right before Eden does her basic. So in summary, if you run this form, you do need to make sure that the top survives at least until turn 11. But this is easier said than done, especially if you use a very strong Leia, because she's probably going to break the top and bottom before that. There's 2 ways you can get around this problem. The first way is to have Eden go first before the boss moves each turn. You will need to position Andreas later down the turn order so she deletes the damage reduction shield the turn before. You will also need to premium hire a Merc which can do a chainable SP, say for example Stella or Monica. You will also need to hit the core turn 0 so that the provoke laser fires straight away. This way you can position Eden in position 1 out of harm's way while still getting her first basic to land on the core. So the second way of dealing with the mixed up boss turn order from breaking the top bits is to have Andreas and Eden going after the core does its basic. The problem with doing it this way is that your first basic from Eden will splash against the damage reduction shield unless you have a way of stopping it from coming up. So right here you see if you fire a non-chainable SP just before the core takes its turn, in this case Leah's AoE, the core, instead of doing its basic, will be replaced by the laser right now, and the basic won't fire. So you see here for the rest of turn 1 there's no damage reduction shield. Do note that this method I'm showing you here is most easily done when the mobility is less than 600. If you try to do this with mobility over 600, you actually need a couple of non-chainable SBs. So if you're going to do it this way, make sure that you keep the mobility under 600. So thank you for watching, and if you've got any questions, just put them in the comments and I'll try to answer them.